Hey guys, Jason with Fat Fender Garage, and this is part 2 of building and staining and finishing your wood bed. And so we're in the paint booth right now and we're getting ready to do some staining and finishing on this. But what we've done, we've kind of set up to where we've got these kind of on a rotisserie. Nothing worse than having to wait for things to dry to do another side, and I'm a little impatient that way, so in order to be productive we try to think of ways to be more efficient. And so we've got one screw on one side. If you kind of see here, this is kind of like drilled in the center. There's like a pivot, but this allows us to, when one side is done, we can actually flip this whole board over and then work the other side while that side is drying. And so it allows us to do the entire board through the entire process without having to wait for things to dry and flip over and mess up another side. And so definitely something, you know, we've been doing for 15 years. We've been doing stuff like this. Used to manufacture custom doors, and we had a rotisserie system built a lot the same way, but with old engine stands, and we'd be able to spin all of our doors and finish the whole thing at one time. And so we've sanded everything, we've eased all the edges right here. We're at a 220 finish, and we've sanded and cleaned everything. We've blown all the dust off, we've kind of prepped, and now right now Luis is just basically taking just a little tack cloth and just kind of wiping all the dust off real quick, just to make sure it's not super dusty when we get started and we don't have to fight all that stuff. So we're gonna get ready to start putting a finish down and then putting the sealer and going through all the motions. And so we'll get going, and you guys can kind of follow along as we do it, and then we'll try to anticipate some questions and try to answer some of those things that you might have concerns about and how we did it. So anyway, so we're gonna get busy and get rocking and rolling, so pay attention. It's gonna be fast and busy. So we're gonna go in and get started, and we're gonna spray our stain. It's just a little bit quicker than brushing it on there and trying to wipe it all off. So we can get this probably stained in less than 10 minutes. We'll start with the bottom sides first. That way we get our technique and all that kind of stuff kind of worked out, all the bugs worked out first, and then we'll spin it over, then we'll do the top side. And we always want to make sure the top side is the best. So if your hands happen to touch the bottom side and leave a mark, it's not the end of the world, but it is the end of the world if it's on the top side. So we're gonna get going in and start jamming on this thing. Not too hard, easy. We've done this 1,000 times. About those swirl marks from the DA. Wonder what that's from. Should have been just a clean 220, just an easy. On the other side? Yeah, so I hope there's no swirl marks on the other side. Getting ready to do the top side, and I noticed on the bottom side there was a few little swirl marks from the DA, so hopefully that doesn't show up and bite us in the fanny on this side. And that usually just comes to somebody having a dirty sandpaper or whatnot, so we'll have to watch that. It might be something we may have to address, but want to make sure you don't have any swirl marks in your wood. But we had one board that had a little swirl marks, but it was on the bottom, so not that big of a deal. But on the top, we want to make sure everything's been sanded smooth. So, and swirl marks are just basically a DA, something in the DA, and not letting the DA do its job and just let it, you know, forcing it, putting downward pressure, maybe picking up some debris or something, and then scratching the wood, and it leaves these little fishtails. So they're not super deep, but they do cause problems when you're doing the finish. So I didn't sand it myself, and so I gave some instructions to the people to sand it, and and might be some lack of experience on their end, but not a big deal. I think we'll be all right. All right, guys, so I've been in the booth sanding. The swirl marks kind of showed themselves up on the other side, so not super thrilled, not happy, but it is what it is. So a little bit of training on my part with the guys to little proper sanding techniques. But at the end of the day, we're gonna clean it off, blow it off, go in and try to touch up, refinish, and I think we'll be okay. But it's best to take your time and pause, and if you have any imperfections, catch it while you're staining it and make those, corrections. You don't want any cross-grain sanding or anything. So it doesn't normally happen like this, but I also do the wood beds a lot myself, but I'm trying to train some guys to help me so I can just do a little bit more of the overseeing and teaching some of the techniques. So we're gonna go back in. I'll see if I can blend out the finish. And I got my puller pop from Circle K. We do live in Arizona, and you gotta stay refreshed. We're pulling it off, just barely. Sometimes you can sand and it can change the color when you go back to restain, so you gotta be careful you don't wipe too much off. It takes a little bit of practice, but I think they all look the same still. So we'll stain this other board and then we'll move on to a sealer. All right, so we're putting a sealer coat down. So we've got it stained. We're now sealing it up so that it will kind of raise the grain. We can go back and smooth it all out, sand it, and make sure it's ready for a top coat or a glaze, whatever it is we're doing. So we're spraying down a sealer. Most importantly, you got to seal all 6 edges. So all your end grain especially, you got to make sure that's sealed up, because that's what's going to cause a lot of problems for you down the road. Again, it's wood, and so if it's something that you're looking for an outdoor, last a long time, this probably isn't the finish. This is a little bit more of a nicer upper end finish. You might want to take a look at maybe a certain wood species that might endure a little bit better. Maybe you use a tung oil or something like that for finishing it, providing a little bit more moisture barrier than what this is. We'll put an automotive clear on it at the very end, but but that's mostly because these trucks aren't hanging outside all the time. So anyways, he's spraying a sealer right now. Our sealer only takes about 30 minutes to dry at the very longest, and then we'll be able to start sanding it and get right into the next step. So the goal for us is to be able to move through all the steps without a whole lot of downtime, and by the time it's dried, we're sanding, moving, and on to the next step. So you can kind of take a look at what he's got going on. All right, so we've done with the sealer, and it dries pretty quick. I think he just got done putting this on here like 5 minutes ago or less. It dries fast, and so we'll give it about 15-20 minutes. As soon as it's dry, we'll get back in here and we will get these sanded up so they're nice and smooth. What the sealer does is it helps kind of seal it, and if there's any grain that's going to be raised, it'll help raise it, and then you can actually go back in and then we'll knock it down. It'll be nice and super smooth, and so when we get ready to put the other finishes on there, they're going to lay down a lot smoother rather than having that raised grain. It can be kind of rough, and if you've ever seen beautiful finished stuff but yet it kind of feels like sandpaper, that's because they didn't use a sealer on it. So maybe you've had that experience, but anyway, so we're close. We're probably gonna put a light glaze on here just to kind of make sure everything's nice and even in color. And then we'll top coat it and we'll be done. We can get this installed in the truck on Monday. So we're custom mixing a glaze here. And sometimes you can just buy pre-done glazes, but we're kind of making our own here. We're sanding the sealer right here. If you can take a look at it, it's kind of white, chalky, dusty, but kind of fills in all those little grains and makes everything nice and smooth and flat. We'll just lightly dust it off, blow it off, maybe wipe it down a little bit, but it'll actually melt right back into, when the clear hits it, it'll melt right back into it, and then it'll look like it was perfect. So we're just gonna get this sealed up. We hit it with a little bit of 220, a little red Scotch-Brite, make sure all of our edges and everything are sanded and nice and smooth. And then with this, we're decided to skip the glaze portion of it. Sometimes we go back and glaze it, but I like the color the way it is, and so we're gonna go ahead and just top coat it and we will be good. So on to the next step. So we have just finished putting the final top coat on here, and so we're using a semi-gloss automotive clear coat. And so it depends on the truck and what it is we're doing. It will depend on what kind of sheen. I've gone down to even just a satin finish on some trucks, and so we'll put 2 good coats on here and we're done. You don't need to keep layering it. Now, if we were going to go for that wet look, then we would use a high gloss and we'd put 2 coats down. We'd actually probably let it dry for a couple days. We'd probably cut it and block it and get it nice and flat. And then we'd probably go down and put maybe another 1 or 2 coats just to get a nice even look. When we do the wet look, I feel like it's more, kind of that higher gloss industrial look. And so I tend to want to flatten things down for that kind of that modern finish. But anyways, all kinds of finishes you can put on here. We're going for kind of just a fine furniture finish on here, and then we'll complement that with the marquee bed strips, and we'll be done. So Monday we'll put this together, and we'll do kind of a part 3, which will be our assembly, and then we'll put it together and set it on the truck, and we'll be done. So it's looking good. I'm glad to get this far along. Hey guys, Jason, Fat Fender Garage. So if you saw us finishing the wood bed and how awesome that turned out, you're gonna be equally impressed with how we assemble it, how we put it together, and what that looks like. So you wanna make sure you subscribe to our channel, follow us. You're gonna get a lot of good content that's always coming at you, how-tos, just the things that we're doing here at Fat Fender Garage. And so we're gonna be putting this bed together here in a few days, and you wanna see that final product. It's gonna really look amazing. Thanks.